I vowed to be invisible. Welcome to day 25 in our 30-day Unlock Money Magic Adventure specifically made for women. You know this feeling, right? You speak up somewhere and your voice shakes and you start sweating and you get all frazzled and then you're rambling on, or you go blank in your head and you don't know what you're going to say and the whole thing is a disaster. Welcome to being visible. And then we think we need more confidence. But the truth is, it's actually not a confidence problem. It's a nervous system capacity problem. Women have traditionally learned that it's not safe to be seen. There's a boatload of research that is actually supporting that women who are successful and assertive are less liked by both men and women. On the other side, when women are going for a promotion or a job and they're woman communal, they're really liked, but they're not considered leadership material and they don't get the position. So it literally is a lose-lose for women, at least with our current nervous system capacity. But here is the tragedy. You have brilliance inside of you. You have these amazing ideas, these great ways of moving the world forward. No matter if it's in your community, if it's in your job, if it's in your own business, you can help people right now, the way you are right now. And the only thing that's really holding you back is to share that. And that means being more visible, having the courage to be seen. Now, a lot of times we hear just fake it till you make it, but that doesn't really work. Because when it's a nervous system problem, muscling through and white knuckling our way to embarrassing ourselves again and again and again. I mean, who wants to do that? Who can take rejection over and over again? It's just not the kind way to go about growth. So today what we're going to do is we're tapping on the feeling of that fear of being visible, the fear of being seen. And we want to calm down our nervous system. And that's why tapping is so brilliant. It calms down the nervous system in a way that just thinking about it or just white knuckling your way through it can never do it. So if you would like to play along, I invite you to close your eyes and take a deep breath in and out. And remember a situation where you either did speak up and you had all these experiences I shared earlier, or you wanted to speak up and you didn't dare. And then later you were angry and frustrated with yourself that you didn't speak up, or anything along those lines. So I'm going to give you a moment to tune into any of those situations. And feel into your body what that feels like. Don't pick the most traumatic experience. Pick something that you can easily tap on for the next 10-ish minutes or so. And on a scale from 0 to 10, how intense does that feel? That feeling of, I vow to be invisible, or I'm never going to do this again, or there's no way I'm going to speak up. And when you have a good sense of it, let's start tapping on the side of the hand, karate chop. Even though I vowed to be invisible, and it's actually a really good choice because that's what has been keeping me safe. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though my nervous system knows that it's way too dangerous to speak up and be visible. And I have let that hold me back. I bring understanding and compassion to myself. And I accept myself with all my limitations. Even though it hasn't felt safe to speak up until now, and I've been hiding my gifts and brilliance, I choose to consider that I could change my mind. Stop tapping on the side of the hand. Take a deep breath in and out. Tune back into your statement and the feeling in your body. And then we start tapping, and we start with the negative or the truth of how we feel so we can release it from our body. We're calming down the nervous system as we speak these limitations. For the head, I vowed to be invisible. Eyebrow, I have seen too many times, side of the eye, that women get criticized and ridiculed. They become too visible. Under your eye. And I'm definitely not going to make that mistake. Under your nose. Or maybe I had an experience myself. Chin crease. In fact, I remember clearly how embarrassed I was when my voice was trembling and shaking. Collarbone. Of course, I don't want to have that experience again. Under your arm. Of course, my nervous system is doing exactly what it is designed to do, protecting me from this danger. Top of the head. No wonder I'm always nervous. No wonder I don't like to speak up. Just tap through the points at your own pace. It feels dangerous in my body. It is so embarrassing. I remember when that thing happened to me, and my voice was shaking, and my mind was going blank, and I felt like an idiot. I'm not going to do that again. I'm not that crazy. And I remember all these mean comments that I heard from other people about women who were visible, assertive women, competent women. They got made fun of. They were judged so harshly. And I made a vow that I will never be in that position. So I keep quiet and I hide because it feels safe. But meanwhile, I feel this potential inside of me. I know I have so much to share. I have all this brilliance, these great ideas, these gifts, and they don't get shared. All of the ways I could make a difference in other people's lives. Maybe in one life, maybe in thousands. But I'm too afraid because I've seen what happened to others. And I remember what happened to me. And I feel this yearning inside of me to express more of who I am. And I thought it was a confidence problem. But I now see that may not be it. What if it's just a question of calming down my nervous system? Yes, I acknowledge it may not happen overnight, but that is okay. With tapping, it can happen way faster than trying to white knuckle through this. And the truth is, when I ramble on or my voice shakes, I'm not showing who I really am. It's not a true expression of my wisdom and brilliance. It's just my nervous system hijacking my body in that moment. And quite frankly, I'm done with this. What I have to offer is too important. I know it can help people. And what if I can actually develop the capacity to be visible? What if I can calm down my nervous system enough to be okay if people criticize me? What if my message is more important than their criticism? What if I remember that I can absolutely make a difference? I'm willing to consider that I have so much to offer and that my capacity can grow. Tap by tap, I calm down my nervous system to allow my voice to be firm and solid, and to speak from deep within, to speak from my heart, to speak with the conviction that I truly have. And it's okay if I don't do this perfectly right away. In fact, it's normal. But I am allowing my nervous system to get calmer and calmer as I become more visible. And in the beginning, I may just tap through while I'm thinking about being visible. And then I may take a video of myself and tap through watching that video. And maybe at some point I feel comfortable sharing that video. And as I'm sharing it, I'm tapping through those points if I am triggered. And maybe my nervous system capacity grows really quickly. And all of a sudden, I don't know what the big deal was. Either way, it is time for me to really step into who I am, because I am ready to share my gifts and brilliance. In fact, I can already feel how my body is calming down. And as I'm thinking about this previous experience, and I'm tapping while I'm thinking through it, I see the truth. Yes, maybe I was nervous, but I spoke up because I have true value to offer. I spoke up because it mattered. And I acknowledge myself for that courage. And tap by tap, my nervous system is getting used to the idea that I can be visible and brilliant and imperfect all at the same time. And my capacity just keeps on growing. Stop tapping, take a deep breath in and out. And feel back into that original statement that you had and the feeling in your body, and reassess on your scale from 0 to 10. What does it feel like now? and how has it shifted? When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Now, being visible is such a big deal. It's this whole story, right, that public speaking is people's biggest fear. Well, the truth is it's actually not that public speaking. It's the fear of the judgment. And as we can expand our nervous system capacity to accept that judgment because we are solid in who we are and what we bring to the world, that fear is getting less and less. So you may need to tap through this a bunch of times. I certainly know that I've tapped on this for a long time before I made this video series. It's okay, it's growth. And then you're going to feel more and more comfortable speaking up, making that offer, asking for that promotion, applying for that job. And all of that ultimately doesn't just lead to more money, it leads to more joy and satisfaction in your life, more impact. And that's really what we're here for, to make a bigger difference in our world. So get out your tracker, track your unexpected income, magic, miracles, and blessings. Make sure you're subscribed and you have your notifications turned on. Share this video with a friend. And then I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for tapping with me.